We'll jump into this one. This one's interesting. Vacationers. Just stop the invasion. What the heck? By Decoy Voice. We'll just jump in. That's gonna be interesting. What happened? Did a boat of people that are not supposed to be there, just like according to the thumbnail, go there, and tourists just stop them? I'm interested. Let's go.
It's insane to know that beaches in Spain are being invaded. It's been happening.
Beaches in Spain being invaded. I don't know if I would call it that, but sure.
For over half a decade, but finally, regular residents are fighting back, as this footage from Grenada shows a boat casually dropping off about a dozen military-aged men to swim ashore.
You cannot tell me that these people do not know that if they go into another country, that they're likely gonna be jailed and sent back. What do they think they accomplish with this instead of doing the legal route? And looking at this is not some poor broke dudes. They are dressed pretty normally.
But then, random citizens successfully detain some of them.
The beachgoer in swimming trunks pinning one man down while he appears to beg to be let go. 13 men, believed to be of Moroccan origin, are believed to have jumped out of the boat. Those on the boat are captured diving into the water in front of...
Morocco isn't even a country that has problems. This is actually straight up, this is not just illegal immigration from some poor country. This is from Morocco. Is Morocco considered a safe country? It is considered safe. It is considered a safe country. Why the fuck are they there? Why the what the fuck? Why? This isn't some poor random dudes.
Stunned holidaymakers and locals before attempting to make a run for it.
With the UK sun covering what they called a small boat brawl, as a boat landed at about 2 in the afternoon, with the locals...
Of course the UK does it like that, right? You can't even say anything anti-immigration because they will just jail you now and consider you a terrorist.
Tackling some of the migrants, and the authorities later arresting the unknown invaders, which reminds them of their story last year in August, where their article reported on the same exact thing minus the citizen arrests, not to be mistaken with the other boat landing seen on social media about a month before that, or the other landing that occurred before that, as somebody is supplying them with cell phones once they arrive. Or how allegedly, once they sneak into Spain's Canary Islands, someone is flying them into the mainland of Europe. So no wonder when we covered this same exact scenario over 2 years.
Yeah, you better censor that booty. This is just crazy. Morocco had their problems. Yeah, but they're considered a safe country. Like, there's no reason to flee from Morocco. Except if you try to escape your own economy. 75% of UK want to get rid of non-UK citizens, which is understandable. But no, wait, 75% of UK are racists, right? Dumb shit.
Years ago, nothing seems to have stopped this constant invasion of their beaches. As this was reportedly from 2023. And this is allegedly from 2017.
Ya que me muero.
Now, I'm not saying Spain should start sinking these ships, but you'd think they'd be doing something to at least deter this, as they...
And later then they cry, oh, I'm gonna get kicked out of this country. Yeah, you don't belong here. What do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean? Oh god, this can't be good. This can't, oh god. We're getting overrun. Over 99% populated by Muslims and no for me. I mean, that does, depending on the place, that does make it unsafe. Yeah, sure. I'm part of the 75% racist. I'd probably be too in this case. I'd probably be too.
Single Spanish shore in a single day can see 5 boats of 20 unknown military-age males each. You don't even have to be anti-immigration to know if someone is so desperate to skip the legal vetting process that they're willing to take a 170-mile boat ride on a tiny ship.
Small boat put into Calagran. Okay, this place, right? Journey believed to have been taken. Okay, let me make this let me make this clear. Let me make this clear, okay? Let me make this clear. They took a little boat from North Africa and went 170 miles to end up in Mallorca. What? They'd rather take into consideration drowning than go the safe route. That is insane.
With nothing but swim trunks and a t-shirt, they might not be the type of people you want in your country, and despite the mainstream media ignoring this, the Spanish citizens are starting to notice. As being in America, you might not even know, there were recently massive immigration protests all across Spain. But if you looked at the mainstream media in English,
Yeah, of course, they will frame it so that, like, the protesters are in the wrong, obviously, when they aren't. These people that go there bring crime, diseases. What else do we have? Crime, diseases, morals that are not, that just don't work with Western morals. It's just the truth. What do you do with these people? And the worst part is they won't integrate. Worst thing is, they're gonna go through Spain, and then some retarded country like Germany, like my country, is gonna pick them up anyways. Should have taken a jet. Oh nah, not the Jet 2 holiday.
they called it disinformation, fueling far-right groups and anti-migrant violence. Where when you read the BBC's report of the 14 arrested in anti-migrant riots, you gotta scroll all the way down to finally find out it was over a 68-year-old Spanish man that was brutally beaten during his morning walk.
A 68-year-old Spanish man was brutally beaten. Crazy. God forbid someone wants to protect their own people. Yeah, who would have guessed? Who would have guessed that I want to protect the people living here? This is what they like to right? What they like to ignore is that they think this is all about white people and stuff, right? Even immigrants or people from immigrant descendants who came here decades ago say they don't want these people here. You have people from certain parts that say they don't want their own people here. Because they know that a lot of those people are not healthy for our society. There is lots of immigrants or former immigrants here in Germany that say they don't want these people illegally here because they bring problems. It's
walk. With apparently no motive, they didn't even rob him, but definitely didn't speak Spanish. So it starts to make sense when the Spanish citizens take to the streets over the unlimited, unchecked immigration they've witnessed for years, where they believe the authorities have failed their people.
Esto es España, esto es España, aquí protegiéndolo, protegiéndolo, que vienen a reírse encima de todos nosotros.
I did not understand a word, but I don't think I need to understand the words. I do understand, regardless. The words are not needed.
And it wasn't just the police, they were also angry at their local media outlets.
Oh, it's good to see women on that. I make racist jokes, but I don't actually care about race. I want the better England for all English people, no matter their color or origin, even the legal immigrants who have similar will count. Obviously, nobody says anything about legal people, right? Nobody says anything about I don't know. The Turkish man with his little restaurant in some corner. Nobody says anything about those people, right? It's illegal immigrants and people who come here as legal immigrants who commit crime, who are not supposed to be here. They are not. It's about people that are just not supposed to be here, that don't share our values, that don't want to live in accordance to our values. Those are the problems. Sorry, bro. You cannot marry a 9-year-old. I'm sorry. That is not happening here. I'm sorry. You cannot commit an honor kill. I'm sorry. That is also not happening. But yeah, nobody cares about people that are legally in those countries. Nobody cares. It's only about those that commit crime or are not supposed to be there. Like, I have a confession to make. You're illegal here. Cancelled.
It's just interesting how globally we all seem to be experiencing the same issues simultaneously. Let it be America, Ireland, Spain, or even Japan, as if it was somehow part of a grand global.
Fun fact. I think it was a Pakistani man who went to Japan to try to SA a Japanese girl. That is insane. That is insane. It's just crazy. Someone tells someone they can't touch kids, suddenly it's a racial crime. Yeah, or people not understanding per capita. Yeah. It is just... The harsh truth is that immigration is not safe as people want to make it out to be. People from completely separate cultures will cause problems here. The other way around, if I would go to a country in the Middle East, I would likely cause problems there. Because our values do not align. How can these people, for example, right? Women. Topic women. How can these people who are pro-immigration be okay with people being coming here that have zero respect for women, that beat their wives? How can you invite people that are like that and be like, oh, totally fine, but you want to act like a progressive? Sure. I'm here perfectly legal, plus I have the right since I was born in Germany. The reason they came over to the UK is taking over, not to merge with their society. See what I've noticed? See what I've noticed? All these people, they want to act like their country that they came from is so great, and they want to be like, they want to be like, yes, this is the perfect, this is how it should be. So if you ask them the question, so why are you here? Why don't you go back? Why don't you go back to your country? Oh, is it because your belief system and morals don't result in a good financial environment? That's weird. No, Pokey, you won't cause problems. Well, according to them, I will cause problems because, you know, when I see somebody beat up his wife, I'll be like, dude, are you retarded? And then I get beat up. See how progressive they are when they're getting stoned for showing their arms? That's the worst part, right? That's the worst part. LGBTQ members advocating for Islam. I've said it before, but this is the worst part. How can you advocate for somebody that would take you and throw you off a building? How is that a thing? How could you advocate for that? On a random note, I did learn to calm down as an admin on Poke's channel and only time up people when when it's really absolutely necessary. Yeah, I have free speech unless you want to attack somebody, really. Then I'm like, yep, you're cooked. You have German culture and education, sorry to say, you're not equal to some of those guys. People want to be like, oh, you can't say that about the culture. That a culture is worse. You can't say that. Oh, I absolutely can. If there's a culture where women are beaten, sorry. I don't like your culture. Stay away from me. I'm sorry. I'm very sorry.
Global conspiracy, and as much as I despise the local mainstream media in America, Spain's may be worse, as obviously I don't speak Spanish, so I can't completely confirm this, but it is to my understanding that they were also angry about a girl being burned by her alleged boyfriend, with only small outlets.
Yes, 20-year-old boy was arrested for setting fire to a 17-year-old girl in Las Palmas. The minor has injuries over 95% of her body and is in critical condition. This guy lit his girlfriend on fire. Also, I find that funny. 20-year-old boy. That is not a boy. That's a grown-ass adult.
It's reporting on the 20-year-old boy that set fire to the girl, as several outlets went into this narrative of gender-based violence attack, where it's such a bizarre phrasing, it might just be due to the automated translations. But it was shockingly difficult.
Yeah, could be it's the all automated translations. Sure, if it's automated translations, never mind. This probably could mean man, but it was translated to boy. What do I know? But it's crazy. Moroccan who set girlfriend on fire, tried to burn her alive. The fucker doesn't even deserve deportation. Just let him swim back at this point. Don't even fly him back. Just let him swim back from the same place he came. Find out which shore he appeared on, and let him swim back. If he dies, he dies.
To get to the bottom of the story, as the 20-year-old was supposed to be deported, but somehow did not, with a horrifying crime like justice system fails to protect girl in foster care from a man illegally here who then burned 95% of her body, you'd think this would not only be national news, but the entire continent of Europe should be alarmed over what occurred. But the simple fact that I had to piece together 4 random tiny publications to even get a semblance of what's actually happening just reminds you of how dire free speech is in Europe. As you also may be unaware, but the UK is also having massive protests over immigration.
Well, it's not just massive protests. There are now look at all these terrorists. According to law. Fish in support of fish market. Correct. Fish supports the fisher.
To which the Daily Mail frames as anti-migrant protesters clashing with anti-racism protesters. With that type of framing, no.
What kind of framing is that? Also, they are politely not anti-migrant. They are anti-illegal migrant, anti-criminal migrant. I think most of those likely do not care about a random Turkish guy who was fully assimilated. I don't think so. Also, if you look at statistics, it's the same group of people causing the same issues. It's the same group of people with the same background causing the same issues. In those crime statistics, no Mexicans show up, no Germans show up, no Russians, no Turkish, none of those. No Japanese, no Chinese, no Vietnamese, no Indians, none of these. None of these show up. The same group of people. And that should make somebody think. Statistically, there were probably some migrants in the group protesting against illegals. Probably. Very likely, yeah. Sure. Absolutely. Good, solid chance. I like your takes. Maybe she was a witch. I mean, hopefully not.
Wonder nobody trusts the mainstream media anymore, as they're desperate to contain why the citizens may be angry, just so when regular residents react to these heinous crimes, nobody knows why, so the news can simply frame them as far-right racists. As I've been covering the opposite of this in America with the pro-immigration protests all across California back in June, where there was plenty of media lies to comb through and expose, as even LA's conservative outlets tried to claim these were fiery but mostly peaceful Molotov cocktails. And obviously, if you're watching this,
the mostly peaceful Molotov cocktails. Sure, buddy. Sure. Well, if even the conservative outlets are saying this, something is going wrong.
You're not falling for their nonsense. But sadly, even today, while I was eating lunch at a restaurant, I overheard this girl talking to her family about how Trump is now kidnapping asylum seekers at their jobs, sending them to whatever country he wants, and how evil this is, as basically she could recite every single AOC talking point, but literally had zero comprehension of what she was so proudly preaching.
Funny how people asked which legal people were deported, right? And they can never answer that question. They can never answer it because they don't have any names, because it didn't happen.
Which is eerily similar to what we just witnessed in Spain, as a majority of everybody would likely be on the same side of this situation if it wasn't for the corporate news actively misleading you from the truth. Once again reminding us, no matter how much you hate the mainstream media, you don't hate them enough. So if you appreciate my concise, sometimes lighthearted commentary on the tragic status that is today's reality, subscribe to Decoy Voice.
Alright, that's how we know. Good for the vacationers, just stopping these people so they don't get that far and then they may hurt somebody or do could just commit crimes in general. Very good. It's just like, we're at the point. Why are we as Europeans allow ourselves? Why are we Europeans allow ourselves to get cucked so hard? What is this? What are we doing? We'll see. We'll see. Anyways, like, comment, and subscribe.